Hello, this is MotherMantiss. I am here with a video to give you a quick reaction to the Dragonage Day teaser. I'm going to be doing deeper dives into aspects of areas and groups I think the upcoming game will focus on in the coming weeks, but I wanted to get this out as soon as I was able with my initial thoughts on what Bioware might be promising with this teaser. I've not watched anybody's breakdown videos on what others might be thinking of this teaser because I want my initial reaction to be my own reaction. So I will be pretty curious once I have this video up to go back and see what other creators are saying about what they saw in the teaser and what they think the upcoming game might promise. So, my initial thoughts. The main thorough line of the teaser is a dynamic map of Thedas, the world and the continent on which Dragonage series is set. It jumps to different places in Thedas, like the city of Antiva, the beaches of Ravane, as different characters narrate and reveal their own ambitions and goals. Essentially, this teaser serves to re-establish Dragonage Dreadwolf's setting ahead of its full reveal. Some of the realms they'll travel to in the upcoming RPG are familiar, and some have never been seen before, some have never been heard of before. But the teaser provides a brief look at some of the locales that will appear in Dreadwolf, including Antiva, Ravane, and the Anderfells, including the Grey Warden headquarters of Weishaupt Fortress. The crows being a focus is interesting to me because it takes the crows beyond their reputation as a political assassins for hire and places them as a real political force of greater scope within Antiva, which in fairness they are in the lore because Antiva has no actual military of its own. Also, Antiva is bordered on the Rialto Bay and Ravane to the east, the Tevinter Imperium to the west, so it's a natural to include, as we already know that Tevinter is at least one of the major areas of focus. Much of Antiva is coastline, 5 of their major cities are port cities, including the Antivan capital, Antiva City. The specific inclusion of the crows implies lots of cloak and dagger antics, which I think should be a really fun inclusion. Also featured in the trailer is Ravane, which is located on the northeastern part of Thedas on a peninsula which is connected to Antiva by a narrow land bridge. They generally have a pretty peaceful society. They enjoy a good relationship with the elves, and Ravane is the location of the only peaceful Kunari settlement on the continent, which could be a thing in the next Dragon Age. Also, unlike the majority of people in Thedas, the Riviani are not Andrastrians. They don't believe in the Maker. Rather, they're pantheists who believe in a natural order. Although their royalty is still Andrastrian, the Chantry really lacks any authority in Ravane beyond the capital city of Daresmude. I also love the inclusion of the Anderfells. One, because they border Tevinter to the west, and Tevinter has invaded and occupied the Anderfells more than once, and the Anderfells has had a traditionally weak king, so it seems like a natural inclusion. But more importantly, because the Anderfells is where Weishaupt is located, and Weishaupt is the base of the Grey Wardens, whom I would love to see have an expanded role and a lot of focus in the next game. In a blog post released on December 4, Bioware said the video, quote, has perhaps a little more for those who listen closely. In past games, you only got to see a slice of the world, Bioware writes. In Origins, it was Ferelden, a land ravaged by war and darkspawn. In Dragon Age 2, it was Kirkwall and its locales, festering with corruption and a dark underworld. And in Inquisition, you ventured across much of Orlais, facing down political intrigue as often as combat. This time, however, much more of Thedas is yours to see. The just-launched Steam page has a quote that says, "Thedas needs a new leader, one they'll never see coming. You'll forge courageous fellowships to challenge the gathering storm. Friendship, drama, and romance will abound as you bring striking individuals together into an extraordinary team. Become the leader and light the beacon of hope in their darkest moments." Most interestingly, the trailer also introduces what appears to me to be the game's actual main antagonist, a mysterious and menacing voice, clearly not Solus, that promises, quote, "all the world will soon share the peace and comfort of my reign." Okay, I think the old gods are coming back, which dovetails with one of the main settings being Tevinter, specifically perhaps the old god Dumat, who is the god of silence, who was the leader. As you may know, Dumat has been killed multiple times. He always comes back, but perhaps Solus has now managed to quote-unquote free him by messing with the veil. Having the old gods, at least one of the strongest ones, worshipped in Old Tevinter Imperium, opens up all kinds of possibilities for mischief and intrigue and dovetails nicely with the settings that have already been confirmed so far. I'm personally very pleased with this development, as I've been saying for the past couple years that Solus is not the main villain. I've gotten a fair amount of pushback on that, but I feel pretty good about that prediction now, as well as the possibility of Solus having a redemption arc for his story. I've actually done a video on this exact topic, and I will cover it in more depth in upcoming videos as well. So also to me, Dragonage Dreadwolf appears to directly follow the events following Inquisition, which I also like because it means the story can include updates and possible communications from characters we know and have become attached to. Perhaps we can play with some of them again, but at the very least we can get updates or cameos about them if we can't actually play with them. And lastly, the teaser promises a full reveal, that was their word, full reveal, in summer of 2024, which seems to confirm that we won't see the game itself until probably 2025. I am not the least surprised by this, although I admit I was secretly hoping it might make that 2024 release date. But as long as they do the series justice, I don't mind waiting. I mean, it's been 10 years already. Anyway, that's about it for today. I'm going to be doing deeper dives on aspects of different storylines and locales I think are strongly implied in this video and preceding videos over the next few weeks. But what was your impression of the teaser? And more importantly, what would you like to see included in the next game? Please let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching and enjoy your day.